Hey everyone, Lord Daimyo here, and this is my review for Candy Flurry manga chapter number 2. YouTube algorithm shows that only 0% of you are subscribed to my videos, so if you enjoy my videos, you know what to do. Change that number from 0 to 100. Well, let's just jump into it. The chapter continues where the first one left off, obviously, where it's got Tsumugi and Misaki talking about him realizing she's the Lollipop user, her trying to explain, oh no, it wasn't me, it was another one, him saying that's impossible, there's only one confectionery user, or per user, and she keeps trying to convince him. He's kind of not listening, so she just decides she's just gonna run. Like, she's given up on trying to convince him. Then he gets a phone call, Misaki does, on his Rossetti police phone, saying, hey, there's a Macaroon user, which I think is really cool where you get to see another user, because last time we saw a donut user, and then of course Tsumugi's a Lollipop user. So it's really cool that we're already seeing another one, and it's a Macaroon user, so I'm kind of curious on how this one works. And the police phone or whatever says, hey, you have to go stop this Macaroon user. And he says, I can't, I'm chasing someone else. They say, too bad, just do it anyways. And he's not able to tell them that it's the Lollipop user. So this was good for me because I'm still thinking that the story's going to go in a way where Tsumugi and Misaki are going to join forces, and he's going to keep the secret that she's the Lollipop user away from other Rossetti, and they're going to both work together to stop, the other Lollipop user. So then we get to see the Macaroon user, and it looks like he has one of his macaroons on someone's head, so maybe he had just, crushed their head or something. It looked really cool. But then here comes Misaki with his huge fork, and he's fighting him, and then it goes to Tsumugi, hiding behind a sign, trying to, run away from Misaki. And she's going through this whole plan in her head saying, she'll have to go home, get her stuff, move neighborhoods, maybe flee town, just run from everything. And then just randomly, out of luck, just like last time, she's right there where Misaki's getting beat up by the Macaroon user. She's like, oh great, that means he'll stop chasing me. And then she's got that moment of realization. She looks and sees some kid in the middle of all those giant macaroons just crying, and she decides, nah, she can't do that. So she's I like how it's kind of set her up to being sort of selfish at first originally, because if you remember from the first chapter, she was using her good looks and stuff to get one of those, I can't even remember what it was, but it was some sort of confectionery or cupcake or something. But she was using her good looks to get that because they had all sold out. And so she seemed kind of selfish, and I feel like with all these things happening around her, it's bringing out her innate heroism to save people. So I'm really liking that character development for her. But she sees a helmet, and it looks like it's the helmet, there's a face of something on it. I really can't tell. Tell me in the comments if you know what it is, because I just see eyes with eyelashes and rosy cheeks. Maybe it's a frog, maybe it's a penguin, I'm not sure. But it's like a motorcycle helmet with a visor on it. So this kid's crying. The Macaroon user's like, don't you like sweets? I'll whatever. And the kid's like, no, I hate sweets because of all these sweet users. And so the Macaroon user's Macaroon opens up like a piranha plant or something, like a big old mouth, and it looks like it's just like a crushing force of a Macaroon, which is pretty cool. And then here comes Tsumugi with this penguin or frog or whatever helmet on, and she's got a huge lollipop, busting up the Macaroon, and then doing like a big ol' one huge attack to stop the Macaroon user. I mean, it looks deadly. I'm kind of upset because if this is supposed to be a battle shonen manga, then that regular donut user got one shot by her lollipop. And then when it was a huge donut, like, guy, she, of course, like, ran up a huge building and jumped off and did her lollipop attack, but it was also just one hit. And then this Macaroon guy goes down in just one hit. So this is really setting it up to being lollipop users, or her lollipop is just way more overpowered than most or a lot of other sweet users. So it's kind of upsetting that they're all just fodder and she's just easily just wiping the floor with all these people. So it's making me wonder what sweet user is going to come along and be her first challenge that either has something to deal with that huge lollipop or can tank hits from it. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So she does a huge attack with her lollipop. Misaki and this little kid are, covering their eyes, being saved, and she does this cool hero action pose with this dumb helmet on, saying like, "Oh, are you okay?" And the kid's like, "Yeah." And then the Macaroon user gets back up. So he didn't really get one shot, but he basically did. He's like all bloody and stuff. And then here comes Misaki to finish him off with a huge fork attack or whatever. So Misaki, of course, knew that was Tsumugi. He's like, "What's up with the helmet? Weren't you supposed to be running away?" And then Tsumugi does what I thought she would do. She says, "Nope, I'm not going to run away. I'm going to find the sweet user who gave lollipop users a bad name and beat them down." And her reasoning is because she doesn't want to see the reason why people hate sweets is because of her and lollipops and other sweet users. So kind of a good reason, kind of not. I mean, just stop these sweet users just because they're bad. Why do it just because they give sweets a bad name? Like, if she's so selfish and just wants sweets so much to herself, wouldn't she want more people to not like sweets so that she has more? I don't know. Her motives are a little weird, but it kind of makes sense for being like a high schooler or a middle schooler, whatever age she is, where she's like, "Oh, sweets are great. I want everyone to like sweets. So whatever I can do so that everyone likes sweets, let's do it." So, or maybe that's just what she's saying to Misagi to secretly hide her wanting to be, a hero or save people or whatever. I don't know. We'll see more on how she is. So, Tsumugi says, but first she's got to convince Misagi that she's not the lollipop user that destroyed Tokyo. He's like, "I can't trust you completely, but I'll try." I thought that was kind of too quick, I mean, they could play with it more. The mangaka, could play with it more and say, "Oh, he trusts her now, they're hanging out though," and there could be story events that happen where she does something that seems a little weird or is misconstrued or just something where it seems a little weird and he doesn't trust her completely and it builds their trust. But I kind of thought, I mean, she saved him once with the donut user and was like, "Hey, I'm the lollipop user, just like you thought. But look, I saved you, so why would I be the bad one who destroyed Tokyo?" And he still was like, "No, I don't trust you. You're the one who destroyed Tokyo." So then she comes back again and saves him and saves a little kid from this Macaroon user and says, "I'm not the evil lollipop user." And then all of a sudden Misaki's like, "Yeah, okay, probably. You're probably not." That seems like it's too trusting. But then again, Misaki's kind of dumb. I mean, like we saw with his tests and stuff. So maybe that's just part of his character where he's dumb and he'll just try to trust her. I'm not sure. But just to me, I'm like, oh, that seems a little too sudden, but I don't know, who knows, we'll see what happens in chapter 3, 4, 5. So then other Rossetti police come. Tsumugi puts her helmet on and runs away from him. So that was good because, just like I said before, where Misaki couldn't explain to the other Rossetti police that he was following the Lollipop user, hopefully this means that they can keep their friendship or their relationship together secret, and, you know, who knows, they can help each other out. But I really did like this chapter. Did I like it more than chapter 1? I don't know. Chapter 1 set up a lot of stuff. I'd say it's about the same. I am liking how Candy Flurry's going. I've heard a lot of stuff. People saying, it's generic, it's copying. They're saying, like, if you liked Whole Cake Island in One Piece, then you'd like Candy Flurry, which is kind of true. I mean, the candy users seem like devil fruit users, and it's all just candy, like Whole Cake Island. But I like it. I think it's really fun. And let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you liking Candy Flurry or not? I don't know. I just want to hear from you. Start up a conversation. So thank you very much for watching and listening to my review of Candy Flurry, chapter number 2. Thank you very much for watching. Have a fantastic day.